I saw another post where you talked about legal directories. Here's how law firms should think about paid legal directory profiles and guaranteed placement listings. And that one caught my eye because I had actually a couple of clients recently that just forwarded some things over to me. Like, hey, what do you think about this? And I know what I think about it, but I always love hearing different takes. And so tell me a little bit about the legal directories from your point of view.
Well, everyone will reach out when there's the nomination or selection period for super lawyers, and they're like, should I buy this profile? So I think you've got to separate the difference between what the profile is versus the premium or guaranteed placement listings on all of these legal directories. Another thing that everybody should also realize with the recent internet brands acquisition over a fine law that all basically of the major directories are now owned by one company. So they've released some of their new products. I don't know if you've gotten wind of their authority suite where they're now bolting on the fine law, law info directories into the package, but you can now get all of those on top of Avo, martindalelawyers.com as well. So, you know, I think for the profiles, they are a great protective measure on branded search, especially if you have been nominated to something like Super Lawyers or Best Lawyers, because they do show up very frequently and prominently on the
Yeah.
search page results. Okay. You've got to do your own searches to see whether or not that profile is visible to know if you should be investing the 100 to 200 bucks per month for that profile. But my take is if someone searches Ron Latz lawyer, New York, and if super lawyers and Avo are showing up, I'm probably going to pay the piper, pay for super lawyers, and I'm probably going to pay Avo as well. One being I get an enhanced profile. Aesthetically, it looks a lot better. And then secondly, once you pay the piper, they miraculously drop off all the competitors that are being advertised on your profile as
Yeah.
well. There's some other benefits, but we'll keep it pretty high level
What
here.
what's your general thoughts about, like you mentioned, doing your brand search and they're popping up for it, and so you're going to go ahead pay the piper. And do you recommend playing the brand game when someone searches your brand and all these other brands are showing up, or would you rather put that money into more direct case acquisition, hoping that the person that searches for your brand still knows how to find you through all the clutter?
Yeah, I mean that's going to depend upon like what your goal and objective is in the maturation of your firm. If you are much more sophisticated and you've been investing in brand for a while, you don't need cases tomorrow to keep the lights on, and you can sustain a long-term investment and know that through data and your CRM that the majority of business comes through direct or brand search, then sure, I would make an argument that we would continue to bolster on those types of investments so we can protect ourselves from branded queries, right? We want someone showing up looking for us to find us every single time, you know?